What's up everyone, we're back with installment 2, or part 5, depending on which way you're watching this video and or playthrough, of Claire's B campaign of
Resident Evil 2.
So we're going to continue on, and if for some reason you're just jumping in the middle of this, I recommend you go back and start from the start, because it makes more sense that way. And once again, if you do decide to continue on without getting the previous experience, the commentary is really just going to focus on design choices, things like environment and soundtrack, as well as differences between Leon, Claire, and an A and B campaign. Anyway, let's get back to where we were, approximately an hour in to Claire's B campaign.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I thought you were another one of those zombies.
Are you Chief Irons?
Yes, that's me. And just who are you? No, don't bother telling me. It makes no difference. You'll end up just like all the others. That's the mayor's daughter. I was told to look after her, but I failed miserably. Just look at her. She was a true beauty. Her skin nothing short of perfection. But it will soon putrefy, and she will turn into a zombie within the hour, like all the others.
There must be some way to stop it.
In a manner of speaking, there is. Either by putting a bullet through her brain, or by decapitating her completely. And to think that taxidermy used to be my hobby. But no longer. Please, I'd really like to be alone now.
So there's something very new for the Claire campaign. Chief Irons. Kind of a bit of a creepy weirdo.
Wait.
Let me go!
Easy, easy there. I'm not a zombie. You're safe now. My name's Claire. What's yours?
Sherry.
Do you know where your parents are?
They both work at the Umbrella Chemical Plant, near the city limits.
The chemical plant? Then what are you doing here?
My mom called and told me to go to the police station because it was too dangerous to stay at home.
From the look of things, I'd say she was probably right. But it's dangerous here as well. You'd better come with me.
But there's something out there. I don't know what it is, but I saw it. Much larger than any of those zombies. And it's coming after me.
What was that?
That's what I was telling you about. It's here.
Sherry, wait!
So now we have our first proper introduction to Sherry. We've seen her once or twice before, just randomly escaping from zombies. We've heard her off screen and the like, but now we've actually properly been introduced with her and seen her, talk to her a little bit. When it comes to Leon's campaign, we obviously have his sidekick, or side character, as Ada. In the case of Claire, Sherry is actually her side character, or sidekick, partner, whatever you want to call it. She'll come into play a little bit later.
Chief?
Because of the whole layout and slight differences in not only a Claire campaign, but a Claire B campaign, you can actually see that another one of the small inconsistencies compared to Leon A that we've already done is the heart key location. But again, it's just one of those small things you can just overlook. And if you're wondering why all these zombies are here this time, in part 1 we saw something that we did in Leon A campaign. Not so much backfire, but take effect, and that's why there's so much of a difference in here. notice a distinct lack of any enemy movement. Versus, there we go, now you hear it. It's a little bit different from what happened from our original trip down here in Leon A. And with different enemies, it plays out at a different pace. You saw how long it took for the movement to actually start. So you would have possibly just ran out into the open. And there we have it. Fixed camera angles with correct enemy placement. And notice we didn't actually hear anything from that guy either. And there's also an enemy off screen right in front of us. Some people would say things like that are cheap or that they're just beginner's traps. I don't believe any of that. I think it's effective use of all of the mechanics combined together. With the noise from, say, the sound you could possibly have from an enemy, or the fixed camera angles and not being able to see around the corner. It ties in really well with the whole survival horror aspect. The miniature optional puzzle from Campaign A, it's exactly the same, needs to be redone. Straight away we're going to notice a difference here as well. This is in part to even the minor differences that the story can take. See? Claire can't push that by herself. So, therefore, she can't go in where the cells were. Where Ada met... was it Ben? The reporter. And then, of course, subsequently fought Leon's first boss. that little small alleyway we were in there as well is actually one of the few areas similar to the dark room from earlier, whereas I believe it's only Leon using the shotgun. You can actually point the camera, or point the shotgun at the camera, shoot, and put some bullet holes in it. So we already see a big difference there, where Leon has the plugs because he goes down through the opposite side, behind where the crashed police van was. He used the 4 plugs to get in there, whereas we have, while still technically in 4 parts, the little stone tablets. Because Claire will make her progress through a different alternate route.
Sherry, I've been looking everywhere for you. I was so worried. We've got to go now, honey, okay? If we stay here, that monster will find us. Let's go.
No, I won't.
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
It's not that, Claire. It's because of my daddy. He's over there. I heard him call my name. Daddy must have been attacked by the monsters. I have to help him.
Wait, Sherry, don't go alone! Sherry! Sherry!
And here's where we take control of Sherry for the first time. Claire's side character. And you notice of where we are. If you remember back to our Leon A campaign, I actually covered this area both from Claire's outside aspect as well as where we are now with Sherry. The main difference with Sherry, of course, is that she has no weapons. She can't attack. She's smaller and harder, cannot be grabbed, but the enemies can still attack her. Other than that, everything is basically done the same way. It's the same box pushing puzzle. And there's also an extra additional item that can be gotten to give back to Claire. Whereas when we came here as Ada, the extra additional item was where Sherry comes in through. But of course now it's going to be the other way around. Since we came in from the opposite side of Sherry, we'll find the extra additional item on the opposite side where Ada would have came in. I think the inclusion of Sherry as a even somewhat small playable character, no pun intended on her, the small side of it, but when you look at all of the additional characters so far in Resident Evil games, including, okay, Resident Evil 1 and 2, Resident Evil 1, you have Chris Redfield and his side character, Rebecca Chambers. Both STARS members, both can attack, and both have weapons. Then you have Jill. She has no proper side character, Jill Valentine from Resident Evil 1. She has Barry Burton, but you can't control him. But he can attack and be useful in said situations. Essentially, he is basically a side character who can attack. Then look at Leon. Leon in Resident Evil 2. Leon S. Kennedy. He's a cop. He's got guns. He's got weapons. He's a main character, of course. That's a given. His side character, Ada. We won't go into what she is, but she's a mysterious Asian woman of some capacity who is proficient with weapons and things like that. Claire, she's the sister of Chris, one of the STARS members. She has weapons, she has access to weapons, she's a main character, so it's all perfectly acceptable, perfectly understandable. Then we have Sherry. Not only is Sherry a child, but for the first time in a Resident Evil game, it puts you in a situation where you're unable to fight back. Not if it's wise to fight back, or if it's smart, or if it's the proper thing to do based on your ammo, or proper thing to do based on your health or your supply. But overall, it's a definitive situation where you are helpless. You cannot attack back. It's a very good twist and a nice little addition that they put into this. It's also very hard to get hit as Sherry. By the time the enemies actually spit or puke on you or whatever it is, you're already gone.
Claire! Are you there?
Sherry, are you okay? Did you find your dad?
Yes, I'm okay. But I couldn't find him. But I did find something else for you. Here! Here's another.
Thanks, sweetie. Now, why don't you come over here? I want you to stay with me.
Claire! I can't reach the ventilation hole anymore. But don't worry, I'll find another way. I can take care of myself.
Wait, Sherry, come back! Sherry! Sherry!
Do you read me, Claire? We now have access to the back of the parking lot.
Got it.
I'm getting out of here and heading to the sewer. Can you meet me there?
I'm on my way.
And now, something we spoke of just a moment ago is out of the way as story progress. Why is this guy here? Ah, god damn it, he lunged. I'll probably take a hit from behind. Yeah. I like to live dangerously. Straight away we have a difference in here. Or two differences, if you will. So, we're not going to worry about what's in there just yet. We all know what the room actually is. It's the armory, but because of our inventory space, we're going to take a second on it. Notice the inventory ammo running a little bit dry. One of the benefits of the exploding radius of the grenade rounds. Bowgun bolts. It's been a while since we've used that. I think that's really nice about the bowgun bolts is that you find twice as many as you can hold in the bowgun. Okay, so these dogs are already out and already angry. Almost already dead. Of course, because there's no lure or trap there with the red herb, for the simple reason is the zombies, or the zombie dogs, are already out. And there's our crank that we can't get. Gonna use it for the moment though. So now that we have the crank, we can actually go back upstairs. All the way to the very top. The problem is we don't have the clock gear just yet. I'm actually going to have to do something I don't want to do here. Just to get to the closest inventory box. A common theory about Resident Evil games, when it comes to the dogs, the lickers, and the hunters in particular, it's always alleged, I've never confirmed it, and I'm not sure if the theories are true or not, even when you look them up online, it's still kind of ambiguous, that jumping enemies like dogs, hunters, and lickers, for example, take more damage if you hit them while they're in the air. I have one more thing that I meant. Now that we've freed up some nice inventory space, before we continue on with our story, we can take a little trip to our little side area / side content in the form of the weapons locker and weapons armory. Now straight away you'll notice that this is the same place from the first one, from Leon A. The side pack was gone. Because as I noted in that, depending on which item you take, the other one is left for Claire. Or in whoever you're going to use in the second campaign. So we've got our submachine gun. Nice double slot item. Double slot weapon even. Ammo counted a little bit differently as a percentage. Can come in useful. Camera angle wasn't doing me any favors. So another small change here. The fact that Claire doesn't get the Magnum means the Magnum is not here. So instead she just gets a nice another assortment. Assortment? Consortment? Consortment I think would be a better word. Consignment, there's the word I'm looking for. Nice consignment of acid rounds. I'm gonna do something slightly different as well. Just in a couple of minutes. It's not actually right where we are now. But it was something that we skipped in the first Leon A campaign that I meant to go back and do, but I'm actually going to go out of my way and do it this time. I'll mention what it is in a minute when we get there. So here's our same little puzzle. Most people, because it's a little bit of an inconvenience, won't have, if you're using Claire in either A or B, won't automatically be carrying the lighter, because it's not a key item. And then our T-103 just comes in out of nowhere like a wrecking ball. We're not gonna fight him. One thing I want to note is that now notice real quick, there's no music in this room. There was a moment ago, I believe, but now it's quiet. And there's our hole where our good friend broke in. And here he comes again. So the reason why I noted the little thing about the music... Okay, there we go. If you come into an area that previously had music in a B campaign, and then there's no music, it means that the Tyrant 103 is going to show up. And as I mentioned earlier, yes, it is in fixed points, but it's seemingly random from an unexperienced player's perception. So you hear this room actually has music. So if there was a time where we were ever to zone into that room and there was no music, it would mean that the Tyrant 103 would appear in some way, shape or form. So here's our film C. This one is different from... This is the one I forgot to do in our first playthrough. It's a picture of the Tyrant, potentially from the first game. Actually, I'm wrong. I forgot about this one completely. So this is the one that mentions T-103, which is the guy who is actually following us now. That particular film also has a little bit of relevance later on too, which I'll explain when we get there. So because that ventilation shaft, when we took it as a shortcut in Leon A, it's because it basically brings us out in the basement right beside where Leon's path continues on. Claire's obviously doesn't take place down there, so she's unable to use that. And it's also a perfect reason to trigger this. I don't know who was paying attention that when we zoned back into this room, that there was no music, like I mentioned earlier. Lickers are back. That was very close. You'll notice that when I was aiming down at him to fire the first shot, there was a big pause because I was hesitant to think it would actually hit him. And in the end, it didn't.
Sherry, you're okay.
I'm glad to see you're safe, Claire.
I don't remember if that's exactly the same as the version we found in the previous campaign.
I'm going down there. Stay here and wait for me, okay?
So you've made it this far. Not bad, girl. But I'm not letting anyone leave my town. Everyone's gonna die.
Calm down, Chief. What happened?
Shut up! You couldn't possibly understand what's happened. Those monsters from Umbrella have destroyed my beautiful town. How could they do that to me after everything I've done for them?
So it's true. You have been working with Umbrella. Then you must know about the G-Virus. What is it? Tell me!
If you must know, it's the agent that can turn humans into the ultimate bioweapons. Superior to the T-Virus in every way. Dr. William Birkin is the genius behind the project.
William Birkin?
I'm sure you've already seen his little girl running around here somewhere. Sherry, isn't it? In case you haven't already figured it out, the monster that's been tearing my precinct apart is yet another product of the G-Virus. An ultimate bioweapon. Umbrella must be trying to cover its tracks. But if I have to go, I'm going to take you with me.
And the Chief got his comeuppance. Of course, our only problem is that leaves us. With whatever's down there. So here we have Claire's first boss, mutated William Birkin. Who just takes a dive. One thing I want to touch on as well that I specifically omitted after the cutscene with the Chief is that that's our first time. The conversation with the Chief there is our first time to find out that Sherry is actually Sherry Birkin, William Birkin's and Annette Birkin's daughter. Before that, she's just Sherry, some girl looking for her father. I always forget that.
you came back!
I can't believe the man who developed the G-Virus is actually her father.
What's wrong, Claire?
It's nothing. But I think I found a way out of here. We should be able to find someplace safe if we can just make it out of town.
But...
Don't worry, I'll protect you. I promise. But you have to make sure you don't leave my side.
Sherry just casually walks by the dead body of the chief, someone she saw alive moments ago. You can't actually run too far ahead of Sherry. As you saw there, she kind of just curls up and waits for you to go back and get her. You do run slightly faster than her, so you always have to keep that in mind.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Good friend, the Tyrant 103, makes an appearance.
Sherry? Where are you? Sherry!
You may remember this styled room from Leon's campaign. Slightly different, but very similar. this room in particular may seem like a dead end, which it kind of is. But this actually takes place, or, well, is a bit more useful in Leon's campaign. Or should I say, Leon B. Or is it Leon A? Either way, it's taken the opposite way around. I believe it's the B campaign where Leon drops in his B in there, instead of Claire's A. So that's where we're going to leave it with part 2 of Claire B, Resident Evil 2. We'll save over our existing progress, and we'll pick up next time. We have a general idea of where we are based on the previous campaign, and we'll see what varies, what's different from an A, a B, and a Claire, and a Leon.